Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Alka Halberg. I am part of the cohesive marketing team. I will be assisting the team today with the webinar as moderator. We will give it another 30 to 60 seconds to allow all the attendees to join us on this call. Great. I think we can start. Welcome to our next webinar in Cohesive Maximo Back to Basics webinar series. Our aim for this webinar series is to highlight existing base Maximo functionality and features that your organization may not be using today to help you maximize your return on investment. We will be presenting this content in the Maximo application suite to give you an opportunity to see MAS and specifically the managed application. Our focus for this series will be on functional topics, with plans to incorporate more technical topics in the future. Note that this webinar will be recorded and distributed post-webinar. All the attendees are currently set to listen-only mode, but feel free to post any questions or comments in the chat or question box, and we will get to these at the end. Should you have any technical questions or problems, please log it with the GoToWebinar technical team in the form of a question mark or help section in the panel itself. I'll be handing you over to the host in a bit, but let me do a quick introduction of Cohesive. Cohesive helps owner-operators embed digital ways of working that drive operational efficiency and enhance asset performance across all stages of the lifecycle. We at Cohesive draw on core tech solutions to help our clients. These solutions include Bentley's Infrastructure Cloud, iTwin, and IBM Maximo, for which Cohesive is the largest implementer. So without further ado, let's dive in and hand over to our host, Brian Connell, a senior consultant at Cohesive. Brian, over to you.
Well, good morning or good afternoon. As Elke said, I'm Brian Connell. I'm a senior consultant from Houston, Texas, Texas area. I'm a Maximo functional consultant. First got my start though as a plant manager, then later had stints as maintenance managers and even a planner scheduler with different EAM systems. I got to a point where I was able to take my experience and go on the road to different places and implement EAM systems. Got to implement in some very neat places in North America and Asia. All right, our agenda today, of course, is around warranties. So we're going to talk about what are warranties, why use warranty contracts, what it takes to create a warranty contract. We'll talk about some best practice on setting up the warranty contracts. We'll show a demonstration, then we'll open it up for some questions. Again, this warranty contracts is not much different from the 7.6 versions. However, as I go through it, I'll show you some of the new enhancement that you'll see with the new MAS environment. Okay, so with that, I'd like to introduce you to the IBM Maximo Application Suite warranty contracts. As a maintenance manager, I can remember getting started and just trying to get my feet on the ground, was focusing mostly on maintenance and things like that. But as time got along with my seniority, I was able to start looking back on things that I might have missed, such as, hey, missing opportunities on warranties and things like that. We got a new AEM system, and that new EAM system just happened to have some type of warranty contract application on it. And so I took advantage of it. I placed as many as my assets that I currently have had under warranty in it. Then it put flags in place to where when new assets came through, they came through me, and then I would set them up with the warranty contracts. I liked it because at the time it would throw a flag to my technicians if they were out in the field that, hey, this thing's on warranty, you might want to step back and make a phone call. Then also I liked it where I held contractors accountable for the work they did and the products they sold us. So assets, whether they're new, rebuilt, remanufactured, they all often come with warranties. And why warranties is I want to show you looking at an equipment life cycle. You can see here I've got a typical asset with its failures it may have over the years time here. Say it's a 15-year end of life. You might expect this curve to be extended high once we get to a high number of years in service. We, in our field, we like to try to bend that down some to prevent as many failures and to extend the life of a asset. But what I want to draw to your attention is this first part, this first 2 or 3 months here. I can see a spike a lot of times in new pieces of equipment because maybe there's a quality defect, or with a lot of times with installation, the installation was maybe placed in there not to the best of standards. Go back to my where I left off. All right. So by leveraging these warranties effectively, organizations can realize some significant savings. Also helped me reduce my inventory by not having certain critical spares, knowing that my supplier had those available during this warranty period. It helped me avoid costs that I might normally have spent with my guys. Maybe I spent the time was spent those guys coming out and it was on their dime. The problem is a lot of organizations don't really accurately track their assets as far as warranties. This leads to unnecessary repair and replacement costs that could have been avoided with the warranty. So as businesses implement process change, especially in asset management, drive improvements and return on investment, it becomes increasingly important to establish best practices around these warranties and warranty costs, thus optimizing your asset utilization. Everything's getting very expensive today. We want to make sure that we're capturing every cost we have. We're all putting in new programs, processes. This is just one of those that's we'll learn later is fairly cheap to implement and easy to get started. So IBM Maximo Application Suite warranty contracts application is designed just for this purpose. It provides a standardized way to create warranty-specific contracts. It's essential warranty details that you put in there, such as coverage terms, dates, which is the date that you started and how many years your duration of that is going to last, and then what the assets are that are covered underneath that warranty. The main benefit is the ability to enforce vendor warranty terms. Now, I'm in Texas, and in Texas, a man's word is gold, but it's not like that everywhere. So you want to make sure you have your warranty terms and contracts in place, and that you hold your contractors and equipment suppliers accountable for their work. Okay, so this would prevent unnecessary work on my team and the associated cost that it takes to put that equipment back in service. All right, so what are warranty contracts? Different contracts and manage, you can assign an asset or a location to a warranty contract. The warranty contract application is also where you list your SLAs or service level agreements. Some different examples were, some of these are actually the ones I've put in place. I've had a fleet maintenance where we had say 15, 20 new vehicles. You never get one at a time. A lot of times at larger organizations, you normally get lots of them at a time, 15 to 20. So we set these things up on our fleet of trucks on a typical 12-month or 15,000-mile warranty. The warranty application accepts both of them. So it'll go off of either 12-month or 15,000 miles, whichever comes first. And you can set that up to be how you fit your process. In manufacturing plants, I've placed them where I had a steam system coming from boilers feeding some, say, university. We had control valves on the outfeed of those things that we placed the entire system. We had 20 boilers. We replaced 20 outlet steam control valves. We bought those with a 2-year mechanical warranty and a 1-year labor warranty. In pipeline systems, I've placed a gas measurement department. In that department, we installed new meter tubes on a pipeline system on a measuring station, and we placed those in there for because once you put it in there, a lot of times you take your hands off, you forget about it. But unfortunately, like I showed in the graph, in short term, things can happen before you get everything under control. I've also taken it where you can take a rotating asset and place it on inventory. Say it's a PLC board. I always have my backup PLC, but I wanted that PLC to also have a warranty. So it went into my critical spares inventory and had something like a 1-year warranty. When I pulled it, placed it in there, anytime work, I'd get flagged if it was under warranty. We won't talk about much, but service level agreements, some examples of those are landscaping services for headquarters. A operation manager sets up environmental services for a hotel or airport, and maybe a pipeline right-of-way department sets up vegetation management with an outside contractor. All right, so the benefits of using the Maximo managed for warranties, just as I explained, with all this going on, we need to be able to bring things and streamline our processes. Maximo manage centralizes the warranty information, making it easier to track and manage. It provides automated alerts to where if I'm doing work on a asset that's under warranty or a location under warranty, it's going to throw a flag. The cost savings. I've seen a recent customer product or consumer products company with a medium-sized fleet increase their recovery by 50%. And you could expect, if you haven't installed the warranty contract system yet, to expect anywhere from 10 to 15% on warranty recoveries. I've been in mills that are a little bit older, and we didn't have quite that much under warranty, but I have been in greenfield type startups where everything is under warranty. And when you have startups and you up to your knees with alligators, you want to make sure you've got that to fall back on, because you're probably going to forget about it until that hopefully that field technician raises the flag and says, hey, this is under warranty, or I've got a KPI that's going to catch it for me. And that's where you get the cost savings by having this efficient warranty management. You reduce the maintenance costs. You takes minimal training, reduces your inventory cost, and by implementing this, it's a low risk undertaking with a good financial return. And finally, for compliance, those who we want to make sure that we keep our equipment manufacturers and our service people, we keep them in check for compliance, making sure they're following our warranties and our SLA services and conditions. Kind of talked about a little bit, but some reasons why low warranty recoveries sometimes happen is whether your warranty is very accurate or timely. If you're outside that window, you forget it, and you're outside that window, and then you don't get your warranty. You want to make sure that you have some type of flags. If I like a flag that reminds me, if I've got a new plant, then I'm not really looking at warranties as much as I'm looking at getting the production up to what it's designed for. So these flags help me catch things while I'm in the plant. There could be missing or inadequately filled warranty claim documentation. If you don't have all the documentation, it just takes so much time trying to dig that up, you fall short. Maybe a lack of accountability and controls at the field level. Again, this, even though it may not impact a lot of the people that are using your Maximo or EAM system, it still needs to be pushed down to the field level, depending on those guys to help you when they're flagged. These the assets that are having issues or whatever, they're flagged when he's doing a work order on it, or in your KPIs to make sure you catch it as well. Claims. So yeah, you have warranties. They can be time consuming. You should consider a full-time warranty employee that can handle anywhere from 800 to 1100 claims a year. So you can kind of structure the size of your warranty group to that. And then finally, there's a lot of times a lack of standard KPIs related to warranties, where if you don't track it, it doesn't happen. So to track it makes a good chance that you're going to see through it. All right, when I'm creating warranty, there's some key tasks that you want to make sure you have. Really, for a warranty to work, you only require 3 pieces of information: an asset or location, a vendor that's responsible, and then a timeline, 1 year, 2 year, 15,000 miles is an example. But whenever you're putting your contracts together for the first time, you want to go out and try to find all your existing contracts that you have related to warranties. You want to, for any new, you want to, at that point, what I did was, hey, I'm taking my existing contracts, and now I'm putting a line in the sand that any new asset has to go through a process to where the warranty is accepted and placed into the purchase of the service. It does know my contract department, knowing that I'm pushing for warranties on my end, they will also push on service contracts to make sure they get the most warranty that they possibly can for that those assets or locations. All right, another key task is notifications. Uh, this provides a field notification with a work order tracking, and then it also provides a KPI on your start center to flag things as a supervisor or asset managers looking at his start centers. And then you want to have a process. You want to make sure you're going to find yourself to where if once you get enough items into your warranty, you want to have a plan to address both the technical and the business perspective on placing the warranty in Maximo. All right, types of warranties and manage. And we'll get into it when we go to the demonstration and look at it closer. But warranty contracts are under the contract application, and underneath it you have warranty contracts. They usually you're creating contracts for assets and locations. You specify the repairs the warranty providers are responsible for, and then you define the coverage duration. On the service contracts, these are more vendor related, and they where you use them to where you maintain something for one or more assets for a fee. We'll be specifically just chasing down warranty contracts. All right, warranty contracts, the application itself has 5 tabs that you use across. There's a contract tab, a properties tab, a contract lines tab, associated assets, and terms and conditions. There'll also be a type, and in this case it's warranty, it's either warranty or service. There'll be a status. A status provides you where that contract is in its life cycle, I guess. First, it'll start off in a draft status, kind of like work orders or job plans. Then you, depending on your business process, you can move it to waiting for approval, then approval. Then you may have a status of close when you're finished with that contract, and then a cancel is something you don't like it, you're changing, starting over again, you cancel that contract. So different statuses for the warranty contract itself. It does have a start date typically. You can place your master contract if you have one in its place. The start dates, you place that there, you'll have that. You'll have a buyer. Buyer's pretty important because when it gets flagged, someone's going to want to know who to contact first to set up probably the contract in your organization. By having that person there, then that flags it who you can go to for support. And then, of course, we want to make sure we have our vendor because the vendor pulls in all of my contract that I already have set up with that vendor into the warranty contract system. Next tab is the properties tab. You'll notice that in this tab, it brings things over from the contract tab. I can see here, but it also provides extendable and process claim information. Notice here I've got a flag for process claim if claims can be performed against this asset. Next tab is the contracts line tab. What it's doing is pulling over all the contracts and header information from the contract tab. Here's where we'll place, you'll see the actual service, the duration that it is, say 1 year. You can do this for time units. It could be years, it could be months, it could be days if you wanted to use that. It also has what will be charged against it. Will the manufacturer be up for 100% of the labor or 100% of materials, 100% of the tools? In this example, it was full warranty. This is also where I use the time unit here. This also allows me to use the time unit down below for mileage. So I can go miles, kilometers, and then put my duration there. So it begins tracking it by the duration. And notice So far, we haven't put any kind of assets or locations against it, and that is going to be our next tab, is where you associate the assets to it. See here, again, it's pulling the line items over. I can see my asset here, it's active, and these are the contract lines that pulled over from the vendor page. But here's where I'd be adding my different assets that are covered under that. It can be anywhere from one, you could have 100 assets on here. It handles as many as you have. And then the final tab is the terms and conditions tab. This again pulls items from your master contract or your vendor contract. It has a sequence. This is how you want your vendor to see it. You can send it to your vendor or you keep it. You can list the different sequences that you might want them to see. These are also deletable, where if maybe it doesn't pertain to this example, then you can pull it off and just keep the ones that are related to it. Okay, so those are the 5 tabs of warranty contracts in MAS. Let's talk about best practices whenever you're putting together. Say you want to do a warranty contract program. You want to make sure you can document your procedure to make sure that everybody knows who's responsible for doing what. You want to have a person responsible for each task. This is where I talked about, hey, a full-time person can handle 800 to 1,100 claims. Well, say you only have 50 claims a year. You might consider having a warranty representative. I know one time I was a planner scheduler, but I was also the asset manager, which means all assets came through me, and it made sense that all warranties would come through me. We didn't have that many where I could control and make sure that they were implemented as the project was completed. Project management would give me the date that I start the timer and set my duration, and or I've done fleets of trucks where I did it by the mileage and have those set up and ready to go. You want to be able to to have some way to track this. So some different KPIs might be dollar warranty recovery, dollar eligible warranty versus warranty claim versus warranty received, and then you want to know maybe a success rate of your warranty appeals. Some additional best practices is data. You hear all of us technical guys say data, data, data. If you're starting to use this functionality for the first time, you're going to start off by creating contracts, but you'll quickly figure out that you need to make sure you have the proper fields and codes in your asset information as you pull it across to make sure you have everything that's needed to finish off that warranty contract. We briefly discussed monetizing the benefits of labor, purchasing and inventory reductions, and this will also help to have that cost data already ready for you. And so a good analysis and plan to clean up the cost data and to make it proper is very beneficial. And then finally, think about the users and training. What I like about warranty contracts is it's a small scale of training. It's only a select group of people. It's kind of a dependent workflow where if I've worked in scheduler, Maximo scheduler, there's 120 tables that deal with Maximo scheduler. Warranty contracts has about 3. It has like a work order detail, a warranty table, and then a contracts table because it comes out of the contracts module. So it makes for this. So it makes it a low risk undertaking with a financial return that can be easily measured and estimated. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our demonstration that I have for us. I'm going to open up the Maximo application suite. And here, when you first come into MAS, different from a little bit 7.61, you have a nice graphite black and grayish type scale background. Across the top, we have the applications that we may have used our app points to use. We have industry solutions, where if I get more in tune, say transportation, utilities, some add-ons here, some accelerators such as reliability strategies, and then some tools, say IoT devices and things like that. So we're going to go into manage. And when I open up manage, it's going to whir and pumping and a puff of smoke, and it comes up to our start center. My start center in this case is a planner, scheduler, maintenance manager type. I've got some of my key KPIs set here. On the left, it allows you to set up some quick inserts if I want to make a quick work order, new asset, something like that. And then it's got my favorite applications, like in our case here, it's warranty contracts. But I can also have some of my favorite applications, like I like to do a lot of planning, scheduling, work orders, assets, and things like that. All right, so in our instance here, we are going to make a warranty contract. Our company says we're going to put in two steam valves on the outlet side of these boilers that are feeding the university system. We'll call them steam valve 1, steam valve 2. To get there, I could either go here, my favorite applications, click here, or I can go into the new graphic navigational screen and I can type in warranties and I can see warranty contracts here, or I can go down knowing that it's underneath contracts and in warranty contracts and pull it up there. Pulls me up to a list uh, table, which every application you go into opens up to something similar to this. Looks kind of probably familiar to you, similar to 761. I've got some of my new buttons here. I've got a search field here if I want to search contracts. I've got a plus sign here if I want to make a new contract, and you'll see that on every application, a plus sign if I want to start a new work order, new asset, etc. So I'm going to come over here. I could have pushed this for start a new contract, but I'm going to come over to my common actions, and I'm going to say I'm going to make a new contract. This contract, again, it comes with a, I'm using the automatic contract number here, or you can make this similar to what you want to use at your work site. Maybe you want to put some type of code in there. I'm going to make this for my boiler steam valves. It's not just one valve, it's several valves, and it looks like it's going to be like a 2-year warranty on it. I think I got a 2-year mechanical warranty and a 1-year service warranty. I've got a start date here that it begins with. I'm going to put my buyer in there. This is going to be the person that if something comes up and they need to understand the contract, I know that Kathy B is my buyer for this contract. I'm going to enter the vendor. Of course, important. We said vendor is one of the top fields. In this case, this is Babcock and Wilcox. They did both the material and the services. It pulls in all of their information. I've got a contact, location, uh, customer number, all that right there for me. So I finished my first tab. I could save it here, but I'm continuing on. Properties tab, this is where we put any type of extension. I do want to make sure I've got my process claim button picked here because we are going to can process claims against this one. I'm going here to my contract lines. This is where I can add my different types, my durations, units, and then my percent labor, materials, and tools. I can fill it out up here, or I can fill it out down here. I'm filling it out down here because I want to show you some things. I've got my line type here. Uh, I can pick service or standard service. Standard services is typically for your SLAs. Down here, I did my coverage percentage. It's already down here for me. I think it automatically puts in 100%. I can also do coverage amount, which could be dollars. It might be $10,000 here, 10,000, 10,000. So it's going to either use both of them. I would put my duration. In this case, I think it's 2 years. My unit, I'm going to do this by years. And covers children. So this is a steam valve. It doesn't have any child pieces or parts with it that I currently have in my assets. But say this was a steam system for a boiler system. That steam system would have piping valves, flanges, and those kind of things. If I had a steam valve or steam system, and then I had valves as a child asset, if I press this here, anything with that system of assets that comes up, it's going to throw that warranty flag for me. So that's a good one to keep in mind. All right, so I've got everything I need here. Next, it's time to place the associated assets that's related to it. But before I do that, I'm going to save it. Notice I use my save button up there. It says that my record's been saved. To place these assets in there, these assets or locations have to be active. They can't be on hold or anything like that, or out of service. They need to be active in order to be able to place them in there. Before I do that, one step I have to make is I have to go into and authorize the sites that are going to be using this. Say I've got 6 sites and there's only 2 sites that are going to use this warranty contract. I'm only going to pick my one site here. Everybody's seen Bedford before. Got it in there, press OK. It's in there. Now I can go into my associated assets and add my assets to it. All right, let's go ahead and add. Oh, one thing I forgot is I have not changed the status. Notice I'm still in the draft status. I need to go change the status. I need to change the status from draft. If I can get my finger right. I got this big hand here. I'm going to change the status to approved. And once I'm in approved status, warranty's good, I can now go in and add my assets. The first asset's going to be that first valve. I can type it in there. If I don't quite know it, I can press this button here. It's going to be here. I can search using some wildcards even. So I have all that. I'm going to put another one in there. I'm going to type it in there this time. All right, I have all my information for all my assets in the contracts line that are associated with that asset, so I'm good there. Go to my terms and conditions. I'll look at the terms and conditions. That all looks good. I don't think I need this one right here, so I'm just going to remove it. Or maybe I'm not. I don't have access for it, but you can remove them if you have the access for it. Okay. I'm going to save this contract. It's ready to go. So contract there. I should be able to go make a work order against one of those assets, and we'll see what happens. So I go into assets, or actually, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to my start center, start everything with my start center. New work order, and I'm gonna go straight to the asset location here, or asset, and I'm gonna type in my asset. Let's go valve 2 tab. And I see I've got a note here that's telling me this is under warranty. So my flag is here. As a technician, I'm trained through our plan to make sure that I go ask questions before I continue with that work order. You can set things up in your workflows or things like that for it to prevent uh, totally to use that. But in this case, it allows them to continue to. It just gives them the warning flag. You'd have to set that up in your workflows and things like that to totally prevent them from being able to use that. All right, that is our demonstration. Let's get us back. Next step is questions. Any questions?
Thank you, Brian, for that informative session. So we do have now time for questions, and we do have a question for you, Brian. Can you populate the warranty expiration date on the asset and still get the under warranty alerts without setting up an actual contract, say for things like manufacturer warranties on purchased equipment?
You can, not out of the box or base Maximo, you'll have to make a workflow to allow something like that to happen within your process.
Okay, I don't see any other questions. So with that, we can conclude our webinar. I want to thank you, Brian, for joining us today, as well as our attendees for listening. If you want to reach out to any of the presenters on the team at Cohesive, you can do so via our website or via LinkedIn. Note, we have all the previous webinars available on YouTube. The recording of this webinar will also be made available to you on our channel. So that is a wrap for today's webinar, but please register and join us for our upcoming webinar on April 17th with the topic Ad hoc and Query-Based Reporting. Brian, thank you, and I wish everyone a great day.
All right, see you guys.